That's really good. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Mina. I'm a culinary school grad and a former professional cook, and today I'm showing you how to make rice pudding. Now this rice pudding is slightly lower in calories than the original recipe that I have. It's not packed with protein. That wasn't my goal when I made this recipe. My goal was just to lower the calories and to make a really, really good rice pudding. Like really, really good. Like no one is gonna know this doesn't have sugar and it's lower in calories. So the original recipe here, if you were to make it how the recipe really should be, it's 3,500 calories. This recipe that we're making today is 2,600 calories. The ingredients. First thing you need is the rice, of course. I'm using Arborio rice. This is what you would also use to make risotto. So if you don't have this, you can use other rice. So let's talk about rice for just a little bit. You primarily have three kinds of rice. Long grain rice, like your jasmine rice and the basmati rice, and then you have medium grain rice, which is like Italian risotto rice and the paella rice, and then you have short grain rice, which is like sushi rice. This is a medium grain rice and it needs a certain amount of water. Other rice needs more or less water. So long grain rice needs more water, short grain rice needs less water. So if you're gonna use another rice, just keep that in mind. I don't have the ratios for you off the top of my head or here. So if you're gonna use a medium rice, a medium grain rice, this recipe will work just fine. And then we need some 2% milk, some light cream. If you want to substitute these things for lighter kinds of milk, you can absolutely do that, but the texture just won't be as creamy at the end. It's not gonna have that mouthfeel at the end of it. So keep that in mind if you wanna make any substitutions. And also let me know how it turns out if you do make any substitutions. I'm really curious and I would like to know. So let me know. We need some eggs, but just the yolks. I'm sure you have something else to do with the whites. Everyone loves egg whites. We're gonna use honey for sweetener. You can use artificial sweetener here if you want to save on calories. I don't know how much you should use, but I'm gonna have the exact amount that you need for honey. Some kind of vanilla. I'm using vanilla bean paste. This stuff is the best. Well, the best next thing to real vanilla. This is just amazing, amazing vanilla bean extract. You should try it out. Link in my bio. I'm not sponsored, but this stuff is really good. And then some salt and some cinnamon. You can use the powdered stuff if you want, but I'm just gonna throw a cinnamon stick in. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is cook the rice. So just put the rice in, and then I'm gonna put the cinnamon stick. Oh, this is a fat one. Yeah, let's go with the fat one. I'm feeling some cinnamon today. We're gonna drop the cinnamon stick, water, and then let it cook. Oh, and don't forget the salt, about this much, or 1.5 teaspoons. All right, so as soon as it comes up to a boil, you wanna turn the heat down and let it cook until all the water is evaporated. And yes, I switched to burners because this one is a bigger one and it just came to a boil faster. Completely forgot the vanilla. Put yourself a nice glug of vanilla in there. Oh, baby. Okay, so now all the water has evaporated. It's nice and dry now. We're going to add in the milk, cream, and honey. I'm also gonna put another glug of vanilla. Bring that up to a boil. And do make sure that you give this a stir and scrape the bottom because you don't want the milk to scorch on the bottom. All right, so let's separate the eggs while the milk and the rice are in the stove and boiling away. Everyone has their own way to separate eggs. This is probably the easiest way to do it here. Do this with the shells. Then you have a container here for your whites and dump the yolks in a bowl here. Or if you're brave enough, you can crack a bunch in a container and you can reach in there and grab the yolk out and just let the white fall through. I think this is the more fun way. Woo. Dropped the yolk and the yolk broke. Gotta be careful. All right, so the next thing we wanna do is we're gonna put honey and yolks together. And here's the thing, you don't wanna do it too early or ahead of time because the sugar will actually start to cook the egg yolks a little bit. So you wanna do this when the milk is just about to boil or right after it boils. And usually this is done with actual sugar where you just beat the yolks and the sugar really, really well with a whisk, but we're using honey here today. Okay, so the milk is just about boiling and this is the yolk and the honey mixture right here. So just give that a very, very, very good whisk. And what we're gonna do now is what's known as tempering the egg yolks. And what that means is that we just want to bring up the temperature of the egg yolks very, very slowly, because if we were to do it a little bit quickly and we were to dump all the egg yolks in here, you would just have scrambled eggs, and that's just very, very bad. If you've ever had rice pudding that tasted like scrambled eggs, now you know why, because the egg yolks cooked a little bit too quickly. So to do this, I'm just gonna take a little bit of the milk mixture here, just a little bit, and then you're gonna put it in here and then whisk. And then we're slowly bringing up the temperature of this. We're essentially just making a custard here. This is how you make a custard. So I could feel it's getting pretty hot already. We'll do one more just for safety measures. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and dump all this in here. And just keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. Do not stop stirring. And now you want to turn the heat back on, and we're going to bring it up to about 170 to 180 degrees, or until it starts to get pretty thick. And another very good sign that it's done is when you coat the back of the spoon, run your fingers through, that was a Jersey accent, and then it's gonna leave a streak. It shouldn't come down again. It should leave a nice streak there. That's really good. Okay, so I have it here in a bowl and then in another bowl with ice and water in there. The reason that I'm doing that is to cool it down quickly, and that's going to stop this mixture from cooking, because I don't want it to cook anymore. Do you have to do this? No, not really, but it's just gonna improve the texture of it. It smells so good. And again, you don't have to do this. The reason that you do this is to stop the eggs and this whole mixture from cooking. You want it to cool down as quickly as possible. Ooh, you can see the little black spots from the vanilla. Okay, it's cooled down now. I'm gonna put it now into this container that I'm going to keep it in the fridge, and I'm gonna chill it in the fridge for at least half an hour until it gets pretty cold, because I like to eat it cold. It's like room temp right now. Oh, please don't get everywhere. We're good, we're good. I'm also gonna leave the cinnamon stick in there if you're wondering. All right, let's do a little taste test here. See, it's just like a custard. Tastes like a sweet vanilla custard with soft, beautiful rice in there. That's really good. This is gonna go in the fridge, and I'll see you in about half an hour. Oh, look at that consistency. It's so creamy, beautiful. And I'm gonna top mine with some crushed nuts, raisins, and some toasted coconut. If you wanna eat it plain, it's delicious on its own. And if you wanna top it with anything else, go wild. I'm very excited about this. This is one of my favorite like childhood desserts. I don't know if you ate this when you were growing up or not, but I certainly did. So I love this dessert. Oh, it's so creamy. It's definitely rich, all that cream and the milk. So if you choose to do this with a lighter milk, you're probably not gonna have that very rich mouthfeel, but oh my goodness. I want some with the coconuts and the raisins. So I'm a big fan of raisins in my rice pudding. Reason being is I grew up just eating it that way. That's how my mom used to make it. So I just really like it with raisins now, and nuts and coconuts. Well, coconut shavings. If you're gonna do the coconut shavings, make sure that you toast them, but don't toast them too much because they burn just like that. It's a custard with rice. The rice is soft, but it still has a bite to it. And the sweetness from the honey is spot on. Honey is a really good sweetener. So the calories and the macros will be on the screen. It's about 2,700 calories, and it's not exactly packed with protein. And like I said before, that was not the goal with this recipe. This is more of just a regular-ish recipe that's just not as calorie packed as the regular version of it. If you want to see more recipes like this or more regular recipes, I know that a lot of you said on the Q&A video, you commented and you said that you wanted to see regular recipes. So this is kind of a segue into regular recipes. It's not so calorie heavy, but it's also not so packed with protein or anabolic. If you want to see more recipes on a channel that are not anabolic and just regular-ish, leave a comment below and let me know. Also, let me know what kind of anabolic recipes that you want to see, because I think the next one is going to be the cake, and then I have another 2 anabolic one planned. But let me know what you want to see, because as you know, I do read your comments and I do take your suggestions, and that is how I make most of my videos. Is I read through your comments, I see what you guys would like to see, and I make it to anabolic version. So let me know in the comments what you want to see. Follow Instagram if you want to see the bulk, or if you want to see other content. There's content on Instagram that's not on YouTube. And also tag me on Instagram if you make any of my recipes. I love to see what you are doing. I love to see if you make any of my recipes. Let me know and tag me, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.